What's up, guys? Jason here. So, just figured I'd do a video because it's Saturday. I got my nice shirt on. Figured I'd do a video for you guys. Didn't know what to do it on. So, I've been kind of toying around with this in my head. I've had a few people ask me, and I know a lot of you guys are into locksport and all that. So, I've had a few guys ask me, if they want to send, if I want to challenge lock. Well, that goes back to something, and I can't remember who it was on my timeline, but they tweeted maybe a month ago. They were asking, I know what it was. It was that crap locksmithing page. They were making fun of locksport group that was meeting in Australia. And one of my Twitter guys over here, y'all, were asking how locksmiths feel about it. So I know that's a touchy subject because of all the, a lot of locksmiths are against it and feel like, I don't know, that I'm not even beginning to tell you what I would think that other ones feel like. So when it became popular, more popular, and I guess maybe the internet helped that, live videos and meetings and contacting people and all that. It may have always been popular, but not nearly as organized as it is now. And so yeah, when it came about, or when people started hearing about it, there was a lot of people that freak out about it. Just as this with any profession, there's going to be good people and bad people, and I'm sure most of the guys that are involved in the clubs and the locksport groups, local groups, and go to the meetings and stuff like that, I'm sure most of them are fine. I think the problem lies in there's always that other percentage of people that aren't in those groups, that may be in those groups or not in those groups, or may just go to one or two meetings, or just the people that pick it up and learn that aren't good. And there's been immediately you're going to start defending yourselves. It's not necessary. I completely understand. I've seen I watch all your posts. I watch your videos. In my opinion, as a locksmith, I've never been interested in lock picking. If there's not a paycheck involved, somebody writing a check or handing me money for what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it. I've picked enough locks in my lifetime. I don't care to pick locks for fun. So when I leave here Saturday and on Sunday and at night, the picks they go away. I don't use them. I don't have any desire to even pick them up, because there's no point in it for me. I mean, I've long lost the satisfaction, I guess, of opening a lock unless it's actually at a site, getting somebody into their house or their car, or whatever the case is. I just don't do it. I've got thousands and thousands of locks sitting around here, and I could literally 24/7 sit and pick locks if I wanted to, but I don't want to because there's no monetary gain for it. And I don't do this just for the money. I do this to help people and be there, and it's a unique profession. I think the thing that gets me on the lock sport, people are the ones that take it a little bit too far, that see it on the internet and think, I'm going to do that because I'm not doing anything else. And the next thing you know, a week later, they're like, I'm going to open a locksmith business and I'm going to do this for a living, and where can I find a job that lets me pick locks for a living? Even at a locksmith, that's not what we do for a living. We pick locks to reach an end, which is make keys most of the time, or let somebody in their house to get their keys. We just don't sit around and pick locks all the time. We only pick locks when we have to, like wiser key and knob locks or lever handles, where you have to pick the lock to take it apart. But we're not doing it for the sport. We're doing it for and into a means to take the lock apart to make keys for it, if that's the only way to do it. I've also seen other people on the kind of an off topic, but shimming locks. I've seen people be like, I don't shim locks, I pick them. Well, yeah, okay, you can do that, but if you are at say a house and it's got 10 doors and you've got 30 locks laid out in your truck and you have to make keys for them, and it's 95 degrees and the sun's beating down on you, or it's pouring down rain and you're getting soaking wet, picking locks may be quicker in some cases, but overall, if you have access to the back of a lock like a deadbolt, it's crazy to pick it when you can shim it open and make the keys, because again, we're not picking it to get the thrill of picking. It's an end to a means. We're trying to get it done so we can leave. So going back to the locksport thing, as a locksmith, my primary obligation is to my customers to secure their belongings, their house, their business, or whatever the case may be, against any types of attack, be forced entry, break-ins, stealth type entries, should it happen, the ones that are concerned about it. And that's why we sell higher security locks, so like Asa and Scorpion, because even though the mantra of the locksport organizations is don't pick locks that don't belong to you, don't pick locks to break into stuff, basically, don't do anything illegal. Again, there are going to be some that do that, and while most of the time there is not widespread coverage of people picking locks to break into houses, because everybody's going to say, oh, just throw a brick through the window or pry it open. Well, yeah, but the people who pick locks for nefarious reasons know that damage versus non-damage. You can pick a lock and get in a regular lock and get into a house, and then even lock it back up if you wanted to, and they would never know. So yes, there is lock picking or bypass type related crimes that pop up every so often in the news. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does. And I'm not saying it's a lock sport guy. It could just be anybody that doesn't even know what lock sport means, but learned to pick locks on the internet and uses it for nefarious reasons. So I think that's where the main stigma comes from. As locksmiths, we're there to, the only reason I'm here, and the only reason I post on Twitter and post videos on Facebook, it's not for you guys that are into the locks, even though I have a lot of lock sport related followers. I do it for information reasons. I do it for fun, obviously, and any number of reasons. And I know I'm going to draw lock sport related people because I'm in the business. So I don't mind it at all, and when I first kind of learned about what lock sport was, I was just like, nah. Forever, having a shop, I've had over the years people come in that are into locks. I've had the security guards come in, they're like, I know how to pick a lock, I got taught that, or I had a friend of mine in prison teach me that. And that's what irritates the shit out of me. That bothers me. If I get to know somebody, and I've had a couple of local guys that have come in over the years, and I've kind of gotten to know them, and they did it correctly. They didn't walk in and be like, I can pick locks, I've got to pick like that, on my desk. That's not how you do it. That automatically sets me on guard, because I don't know why you're picking those locks. I don't know what reason you're out there, whether it's to help people or to break into stuff. I have no idea why you're doing it. But the ones that have come in, I don't know if they were already prepared for a rebuttal, being I'm a locksmith, because I think that's kind of the par for the core for you guys. But if I have a customer that wants to secure their house and ask me for higher security locks because they've done some research, or they saw a news report on lock picking or lock bumping, then yes, I'm gonna upgrade their security to higher security, or offer them, the options, give them options on that, tell them realistically what could happen. But yes, I will tell them that they can freely go get on YouTube and learn how to pick a lock in a few minutes. Not learn how, but see how to do it, and then learn yourself. So, as a perceived threat to homeowners, and threat's a strong word, but I'm just going to use it. As a locksmith, one of the threats that we face with homeowners and business owners is those that are concerned about having higher security and making locks harder to pick, harder to bump. Key restriction kind of is the biggest thing, to keep people from duplicating keys. But those same styles of locks typically are harder to pick, so it's kind of a hand-in-hand type deal. But yes, as a locksmith, if an individual who has a house or a business comes in and wants high security locks and asks me if picking is a real threat, I would have to say yes, because while the majority of the locksport community are not doing it for nefarious reasons, there are others out there, just as there are other locksmiths who have been arrested for stupid shit and crimes. But it is a perceived threat to any homeowner or business owner. So I will tell them, yes, you can find information online to pick locks. They probably already know that, because most of the time they're going to know that. That's why they would have asked about non-pick or pick resistant type locks. So saying that, I do explain to them that it's very unlikely that it'll happen, but it is a possibility that it'll happen. And if they choose to, I don't push them or try to trickery or deceive anybody into buying high security locks, but I will honestly tell them that yes, that is something. If you have a quick set on your door, on your warehouse door, yes, you can put better quality locks on there that are harder to pick, and just the mere presence of a cheap lock, commonly available, quick set, even Schlage, is kind of a draw to somebody. Say a nefarious person who knew how to pick locks walked by a door with one doorknob and a quick set lock. They could either think to themselves, hey, I might hit this place because that's a cheap lock. I know I've practiced on those locks, and I know I can get past it fairly quick. So it is a perceived threat, and it is a selling point. So, sport all you want. It's fine by me. I don't care. I talk to you guys on Twitter all the time. So most of you who are going to watch this know that. But overall, I think the majority of locksmiths aren't real thrilled with the locksport community, because in a way, and again, no offense, but in a way they kind of feel it's silly, because most of us in the profession, it's kind of like if you worked, just for instance, if you worked at McDonald's and you cooked burgers, you were a kitchen helper at McDonald's and you cook burgers all day, you're not going to want to go home and cook burgers. Same way with the locksmith. We're not going to want to go home and sit at a desk and pick locks. Most of us aren't. There are a few locksmiths out there that I guess have too much time on their hands, but I personally don't have enough time on my hands, so I'm not going to be doing that on a day off. And like I said, you guys do what you want, pick away, sport away. It's a hobby, I guess, if that's the way y'all want to look at it. I have no opinion on it either way. The only opinion I have is, like I said, when somebody comes in here and it's like, oh, I'm gonna pick this lock, or I got lock picks like that, and just act stupid. Don't act stupid. I think that's the main thing. Kind of goes along with y'all's mantra of not breaking into stuff, picking locks and only belong to you. Anything else would be considered stupid, and you don't want to be stupid. So, well, I guess that addresses that whole thing. I can't really think of much else to say about it besides you guys who do pick locks. Well, another thing. Okay, so one thing that I think the locksmiths, and I do have an issue with this if it were to happen, is somebody locked out of their house. Now, I'm not talking about like a family member, just like some random person, and your buddy calls your buddy, who calls your other buddy, who calls you, because they heard that you pick locks, and then you would jump up and run across town to go help somebody you don't even know. What that does is take away a locksmith's job, a paying job. Somebody out there most likely would have had to have been called, and that's their bread and butter on the table. So while it's okay if it's your mom or your, best friend or something, don't be doing it for your aunts, uncles, buddies, cousins, sister-in-law, because that is taking food off the table, taking light bill money away from somebody. It's good to help people when you can, but that kind of goes along with y'all's mantra of don't pick locks that don't belong to you. Well, you're going out to help somebody to pick their lock, and you could break it, you could make it worse, you could do any number of things. So if you're going to do it with your locks on your own home or at your home, or locks that you have bought for that specific reason. And don't do it for just random people, because we pay a lot of money in insurance, we deal with a lot of bullshit, and a lot of different phone calls. Most locksmiths, I say we, but I'll just use me, we for an instance, we've had every manner of different call come through. We've faced every manner of different angry, mad, happy, sad, crying, giggly customer that's out there that's locked their keys in their house or their car. We know, because we've been doing it for so long, or I know that I've been doing it for so long, that I can tell. I know if something's off. I know if somebody's locked out of a house. I know, I have to check their driver's license. I have to check their address. I have to make sure that when they get in the house that everything's cool, everything is actually theirs and they're supposed to be there. And there's set parameters that I go by when I'm doing all that. It's not just a matter of checking their driver's license and making sure it matches. It's knowing the circumstances. It's knowing and watching the people who are there, and you can get in trouble for opening somebody's house if it doesn't belong to them, and you are not covered to do that, and you could go to jail probably. So y'all follow your mantra of don't do it to locks that aren't yours and all that, and sport away. I'm glad that you have a hobby. It's better than out shooting up crack or something, but I don't know, that's all I have to say about it. Kind of a real talk today on a Saturday, and just figured I'd talk about that because, like I said, I've had a few people ask me here and there, and I appreciate the offers, but unless you're sending a signed, check with the challenge lock, I don't really care about it, because, and challenge locks are done, harder to pick, obviously, challenge locks. Well, if I, in the field, got called out, say somebody locked their keys in their house and they were like, oh yeah, I changed that lockout and I put these special pins and all that in there, but I can't get into it, so I'm locked out, and I need you to get into it. Okay, well, you're automatically going to be paying like triple for that, because you modified your own lock into a challenge lock, and you're putting me in a position getting called out to do just a normal opening, and you've done funny stuff to a lock on your own house to make it harder to get into, and you can't get into yourself. You're gonna pay for that, and it's not a fun thing for me, because anything out of the ordinary like that, even when people are locked out of their deadbolt of their house, obviously you can't accidentally lock a deadbolt. You have to have a key. So if somebody calls and they say both of my locks are locked or my deadbolt's locked, I need you to get into it, that's one of those automatic parameters that puts up a red flag, because you have to either lock the door and then lose your key, or it ain't your house, because you don't have a key, or the lock's got changed on you. So yeah, that's one of those parameters that we have to watch out for, and it's a red flag. So kind of a rambling chat here. I don't know why I did it. Just lack of video material. I can do any number of videos, but I did this. So I hope that clears up and maybe answers some of your questions as to why some locksmiths make fun of or laugh about locksport groups. Is because I think basically we don't care about it that much, and it's not a challenge anymore to us. So we don't want to be challenged. We want to pay the bills, and just be done with it and go on to the next thing, because we pile up jobs. Sometimes, the busy ones, we pile up jobs left and right. If I get in on a job that I get a call in for, thinking it's going to be a 20-minute job, and they've got something weird, crazy going on, and it ends up being a 2-hour job, those jobs that I've scheduled back to back are going to get thrown off, and my day's screwed. So, that's pretty much all the reasons why I think that locksmiths, especially the older locksmiths that don't understand the interwebs and all that, I think that's one reason why they're so hesitant and so suspicious and there's your crazy guys just picking locks all the time. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Don't do it on shit that you don't own. Don't do it for people that you don't know. Let us do our thing. Y'all do your thing. Have fun at your meetings. Do it legal. Stay safe. Stay legal. I don't know. Is that trademark? I may not be able to say that. Scratch that. So anyway, I don't know what to say, but thanks for watching, guys, and y'all have a good day. Catch you next time.